Hello, people. Welcome to my life. Today we have phishing emails in action. Let's go. We by the way, we can start the attack box, but I don't see any other machine that can be started, which makes me think we don't need it. So I won't turn it on. And yeah, let's jump straight into it. What do we have here? The email sample in this task will highlight the following techniques. Okay, but do I have to open this? Well, you know what? Let's not do it just yet. Following techniques: spoofed email address, URL shortening services, HTML to impersonate a legitimate brand. There are some quick observations about this email sample. Unusual recipient address. Yeah, kind of unusual. No reply at sultanbogo.com. Oops. Yeah, the mismatch should immediately stand out. The sender details, service PayPal, don't match the sender's email address. Should it match? I guess it should. The subject line hints that it made a purchase or a transaction of some sort. If you don't recall this account, then it will grab your attention. The social engineering tactic is to prompt you to interact with the email with haste. So, in other words, to inspire the sense of urgency. Okay. Next, and the contents of the email body. Hello, customer. You sent a payment of 120 USD to US dollars to Amazing Stuff. Help send us something. It may take a few moments for this transaction to appear in your account. Yeah, a lot of some address, some number, another address, which is written as confirmed, but I'm not sure about it. Maybe it was just styled to be like this. Okay, some detail, some table with the products, and the second half of the same email body. Image 2. Yep. The table ends. Cancel the order. Okay, so this is the button we want the user to click. This is the bait. Issues with this transaction: you have 180 days from the date of the transaction to open a dispute in the resolution center, and something like this. Okay, so the only interactive element in this email is the cancel the order button or link. Let's investigate that further by reviewing raw HTML source for the email. And we can see the link is clearly some weird. So there are tools to investigate these links. Because it uses URL shortening services, it's not a good idea to click on the link if you don't know where the link is taking you. Luckily, yeah, some tools are there. We will use these before the to Google Suche weitergehen. Okay, strange. This links redirects you to google.com. Tools to expand shortened URLs will be discussed in phishing emails 3 room. What phrase does the gibberish sender email start with? Cancel? I know. Possibly not. Receipt or service? I'm not sure what they mean by the phrase, especially gibberish phrase. No, receipt is wrong. Service, also not. Hello, customer. Do you guys see that? Because there is really nothing we can paste here. Yeah, I have no idea what that is actually. Maybe customer? Try customer. I think it's too long. Yep. One character too long. Um, yeah, let's read this again. What phrase does the gibberish sender email start with? Oh, that's a question about the email itself. No reply, I guess. Reply. Yeah, I missed that completely. A problem with attention. Okay, another phishing example. This email sample will highlight the following techniques: spoofed email address, pixel tracking. Wow, not sure what that is. Link manipulation. Here are some quick observations about this email sample. The email is tailored to appear that it's sent from a mail distribution center of some sort. The subject line adds to the pretense with the tracking number. What does it mean? The subject line adds to the pretense with the tracking number. I feel a bit of sleep today. Mm. Subject line adds to the pre. Yeah, I really don't understand this second sentence. Let's just ignore it. The link in the email, or let's actually not ignore it and ask what that is. What does that mean in phishing context? Hopefully it will be short. This means in the phishing email use delivery or package notification scam message. Disguise. Oh, that's smart. The subject line adds to the pretense with the tracking number. The link in the email body matches the subject line. Okay, this is intelligent. In this example, Yahoo blocked the images from automatically loading. Any guesses as to why? Typically, one can hover the cursor over the link to see where the link is pointing to. But in this example, that technique won't work because Yahoo disabled this links in this email. We can view the raw source for the email and find out. So it links to some HTTP read page, which is dabrat.xyz. Okay. Here we see an image file that is explicitly called tracking PNG. These trackers send information back to the spammer's server. For many reasons, for spammers to embed tracking pixels, very small images, to their spam emails. Yeah, I don't really understand what this tracking does. Like, you know what? Let's ask Gemini as well about tracking. I don't understand most of that tracking thing here. Extremely small, transparent image that is embedded in the email. For example, this one. When you open the email, your email client automatically attempts to load all elements, including this tiny image, from the spammer's remote server. When your client requests the image, it reveals the following information to the spammer: confirmation of a valid email, active and monitored by a real person, Phishing validation, okay, time of opening, the exact time the email was opened, IP address and location, the location where the email was opened. Wow. Device email client, information about the device and email client you are using. To validate lists of stolen or purchased email addresses, once an email is conferred live by loading the pixel, it becomes high value target and is added to a list for further. That's, yeah, that's so intelligent. Second tracking element is an actual hyperlink associated with the package delivery scam, the one pointing to a shady looking domain. If you were to click the link, the click would be tracked and you would be redirected to malicious landing page. Okay. And what is this about? How to stop your emails from being tracked? I guess we should stop. Like really, we cannot read it. Well, that's sad. What is the root domain for each URL? It's dfrat. Oops. XYZ. Great. This email sample. Okay, next one. This email sample will highlight the following techniques: urgency, HTML to impersonate a legitimate brand, link manipulation, credential harvesting, poor grammar, and all typos. Um, okay. So let's see. Let's see. So Nirbarak, nirbprofility.com sent to eForm 2290 support. Claim HBD FSG Reality Holdings LLC, something like really weird here. And yeah, what do we? The first highlighting thing is when it was sent. I wonder why is it highlighted? It doesn't seem really suspicious to me. And oh, I understand. That's because it expires today. So it it makes us think that we have only one day of to act. You have you have a new fax, click the attachment to view, download document here. Contact uses Citrix files to share documents securely. Martin Rivera. This is this is sent from Barak, not from Martin Rivera. Here are some quick observation about this email sample. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There is an action to perform. Okay. So now we have something here. The above image shows the victim is redirected to a page created past as OneDrive. Notice that the URL is not anything Microsoft related. Should that be Microsoft related? In the first place? Maybe. I'm not sure. There are two more links for the victim to interact with. The victim has to click either button to obtain the fax document that is set to expire. So either get document or preview fax here. SharePoint Online. Oh, okay. bdkmotorsport.com. So this is a credential stealer, as I guess. If we try to sign in using that untrustworthy link, then it's over. Right. Okay, notice the URL. It doesn't look like it's related to Adobe. Also notice the page title in the grab. It's called SharePoint Online, which is Microsoft product. There are a couple of grammatical errors as well. Please enter with the valid email credentials that this file was sent to. Doesn't look like it's related to Adobe. The victim has options to sign in with the email provider of their choice. We can email address. We can enter email address and password. Then login. Our victim chose to log in with Outlook because per instructions to read the document, please enter the valid email credentials that this file was sent to. Okay, invalid credentials. In this example, we can tell fake credentials were entered, but even if the victim would have entered the valid credentials, the error message would be the same. This scenario happens because the victim is not really authenticated to an email provider. Instead, the credentials that were entered now reside on the criminal's server. The criminal's objective is to harvest credentials has been met. Lastly, notice more grammatical errors. All this work they put into this, you would think they would run a spell check. This email sample was obtained from any run. If you wish to interact with the email and see full analysis, refer to the link below. This email sample used names of major companies. Wonder what are the company they used? I guess Office? No. Why? 4MB. What is this hint? There is 2 and 6 4MB. 4.6 MB. Um, what did they try to? What did they try to impersonate? OneDrive? Oh no, not OneDrive. Outlook, other mail, maybe Adobe. Adobe. No. But Office? Why not Office? Boom. You're going too fast. Let's wait a second and try again. Why not Office? Office is perfect for this case. OneDrive. Citrix. Maybe this is what we should answer. I'm not sure what Citrix is. Yeah, it's Citrix. What is Citrix? A company that provides virtualization, cloud computing, and network technologies to enable remote access to applications and desktops. Okay. And now to the next one. This email sample will highlight the following techniques: spoofed email address, urgency, HTML to impersonate a legitimate brand, poor grammar, and or typos, and attachments. Here are some quick observation about this email sample. This email is made to appear as that it's from Netflix billing, but the sender address is Z99 musakombi.online. There is an element of urgency. The account was suspended, so the victim must act quickly. There is more of this sense of urgency in the email body. Okay, we can also see a typical logo here. Also, Netflix looks bad. Okay. Okay. Also notice the different misspellings of the word Netflix. Yeah, I noticed that straight away. But typically you see these techniques when it comes to type squatting. What is this? Oops. A type of social engineering attack. Type of squatting uses purposely misspelled domains for a variety of malicious. Oh, I guess it's like when. Okay, yeah. It's it's a slight mistakes to spoof some string, right? Typically, typically an URL or domain. Type squatting. But this wasn't the case here. We view the row source and we can see, okay, here is the meat and potatoes of this email, like the phrase meat and potatoes. Apparently, the victim needs to open the attachment PDF to update their Netflix account. We are having some trouble with your billing information. Please open PDF to update your account. Need help? We are here if you need it. Visit the help center or contact us now. Okay. And there is some attachment. Payment, something. Your friends at Netflix. Questions call this thing. I guess it's just for trust and probably no one would call it. Also, the number is really long. What I notice, it's like how many? 13 numbers? What the fuck, man? Never saw the number that big. Maybe that's because I'm European. Okay. Please do not reply to this email as we are unable to respond and help.netflix.com. I guess that's just for building trust, right? Notice the phone number for Netflix at first glance. That is an unusual phone number to send to a US based victim and for European based victim as well, man. It's too long. US number, let's see, +1 example. By the way, I wonder whose number that is. Like 3 here, then yeah, so in total it's 11 number, right? It's +1, it's quite beautiful. If you did not ask to reset your password, you may want to review your recent account access for any unusual activity. We are here to help if you need it. Visit the help center for more info or contact us. And it's baiting. Wait, what is this PDF in the first place? That's this payment update ID. So it's like it's the same thing, right? So there is no additional information. We just open this up and it installs some sort of malware to our PC. Okay. Please open PDF to update your account. The attachment contains an embedded link titled Update Payment Account. We'll look at this email attachment in closer detail in the upcoming phishing emails 3 room. What should users do if they receive a suspicious email or text message claiming to be from Netflix? Well, this is a long sentence. Maybe check. Now, compare the address to Netflix. Netflix domain. I think it's just, yeah, Netflix.com. Netflix email support address info account netflix.com. Doesn't look like This one suits it. Netflix support. Support. No. Help center. Contact us. I want to see a Netflix support, but I don't see it. Well, let's see a hint. HTTP Consumer Affairs News Policies. This one looks like a safe link. Let's go. HTML, I guess. Yeah. Police loans and okay, forward. Huh. Okay. It's interesting that the end user should enter should like report a phishing attempt to the company. Never seen a model functioning like that. It's like the end user is almost never held responsible. So this strategy I just didn't consider. Okay, 2 more to go. This email sample will highlight the following techniques: spoofed email address, recipient is BCC'd, urgency, poor grammar, and overtypers, attachments. Here are some quick observations about this email sample. This email was made to appear that it's from Apple support, but the sender's address is gibberish. Yeah, I like this simulation, so to say. Gibberish. Some premed.com. This email wasn't sent directly to the victim's inbox, but rather BCC'd the recipient. No, like end of the sentence. And the recipient email looks like another spoofed email to appear as a legitimate Apple email address. Okay, here is the element of urgency. Action is required on behalf of the victim. Action required: your recent purchase, double jackpot slots Las Vegas on the App Store, date Friday, etc. April 2020. Okay, from Apple support. Do not reply. Store mail said blah, 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 gibberish, and somepremed.com. Yes. There are few things noticeable. There are few noticeable typos in both the sender and recipient email address. Do not reply and payment. Do not reply. Okay, do not reply and payment. This particular email doesn't necessarily have an email body. It's totally blank. The email simply contains an attachment. Double jack something. This file extension may not be familiar to you. A dot file is page layout template files associated with Microsoft Word. File is page layout template. Okay, interesting. The above image shows what is contained from within the attachment. You can see the file contains a large image, for example, an App Store receipt. Notice the link contains certain keywords related to Apple apps and iOS. Okay. What does BCC mean? Blind copy. No, it's something copy. Carbon copy. Why is it carbon copy? Copy. What technique was used to persuade victim to not ignore urgency? Yep, correct. DHL something. This example, this email sample will highlight the following techniques: spoofed email address, Klamka Company Deutsch, HTML to impersonate a legitimate brand, attachments. Here are some quick observations about this email sample. The sender's email doesn't match the company that is being impersonated, which in this case is DHL. The subject line gives the impression that there is a package DHL will ship for you. The HTML in the email body was designed to look like it was sent from DHL. DHL Express Courier Shipping Notice. Here is DHL itself. Thank you for scheduling a courier shipment with the DHL. Looking at the source of this email, for the email, the link to view the email as a web page doesn't contain an actual destination URL. To view this email, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it doesn't. The only element the victim can interact with in this email is the email attachment, which in this case is an Excel document. Some scripts probably are there. The image below shows what is contained within the attachment. To translate language kindly. Wow, that's smart as fuck. Because when we enable editing, it will execute things. And it starts, yeah, and it starts payload. Update a roaming regi ASMS.exe. What is regi SMS? Was it like this? Regi ASMS.exe. Reach ASM. I guess it's assembly? Yep. A legitimate Microsoft tool used to register or unregistered .NET assemblies, making them accessible to component object model applications. It reads the metadata in a .NET assembly and adds the necessary entries to the Windows registry, allowing clients to use the functionality within the .NET code. When you register, yeah, I don't understand really these concepts of registration and non-registration. When you register an assembly with regasm.exe, it creates entries in the Windows registry. The unregister or /u option removes these registry entries when an assembly is no longer needed. Okay, so it somehow enables .NET compiled, so to say, code to be used inside some applications, component object model applications. Component object model applications. Let's take a quick look on this video.
Welcome to CSCMA. Today we are going to
problem.
study about the
An Indian dude
COM.
describes it.
Stands for Component Object Model.
Interface
In
started.
component-based system, components
I noticed there are many Indians related to Windows and Microsoft in general. I think Microsoft has a lot of Indians.
interact with each
Interface standard,
other
yep.
by
Not a programming language.
calling methods and passing data.
Enables inter-process communication and dynamic object creation. I guess dynamic object creation is when we create an object in runtime. Object creation. Yeah. Expose members such as properties and methods at runtime. Don't really, well, I didn't know that that is a feature. I kind of expected this thing to be possible within any language. So I'm not sure why this has, its separate name and stuff. Dynamic objects expose members such as properties and so blah blah blah. Create a custom dynamic object. Create a custom dynamic class. Hmm. Oh, so we just extend dynamic object. And what will this do? Oh man, I'm so sleepy. Let's just skip through it. Set of binary and network standards. So these are standards, not just not some kind of software. And does it read the whole
COM
video?
provides communication between these objects that
Yep. This video is boring. Okay, let's take a quick look on this one.
Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Will, and in this particular video what I want to do is to kick off a new
Okay, man, let's go straight to the video.
time. So,
Why did you use 2 minutes of introduction? You've got intro and introduction. Okay, never mind. Thank you at least for explaining this. There are no other videos. When we think of applications, blah 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 blah, and such that cater the landscape of software. But what if we need these applications to communicate with one another? Yes, we need inter-process communication, binary standard. This buzzword, what does this mean? This allows for interoperability between applications as long as the underlying programming language supports function pointers. What? This allows for interoperability. So, like, one program can be called from another program, I guess, between applications as long as the underlying programming language supports function pointers. I don't know a single language that doesn't support function pointers, if I understand his point. If I understand his pointer.
Interoperability
Okay.
between applications as long as that work together, enabling the creation of
Yeah,
applications that
I can turn off his voice actually. How to implement a COM model. COM object can be instantiated in and of itself like a typical C# class. Exposes its features through an interface, which is collection of members and function. Yeah, so it's like an interface, this COM object, I guess, that allows us several, that gives us IPC, which is IDL interface definition file, is created when defining an interface. Interesting. I didn't know we need to have a separate file to define an interface. Typically, in all programming languages, when you define an interface, you do it in the source code file, and you don't need a separate file for that. It doesn't look like that is the case in this example. The compiler can then generate header files for the use by application and source files to handle the procedure calls. What is procedure in programming? Is it like an algorithm? Name block of code. Procedure versus algorithm in programming. Well, there is no difference. It's just like weird namings. Okay. Okay. Inheritance is used sparingly with COM interfaces. COM supports interface inheritance only to reuse a contract. Polymorphism. known has three member functions: query, interface, and reference release. All COM objects required to implement known interface. Okay, so this is the interface that COM objects are required to implement. I suspected that they needed to implement some interface in order to be component object model objects. Yes, yeah, this video is broad. Now it explains what polymorphism and virtual methods and derived classes are. Query interface can be called to determine at runtime if a COM object supports a particular interface. The query interface member function provides navigation among all of the interfaces that a COM object supports. Okay. And this a COM object lifetime is controlled by its reference count, and reference and release control the count, and reference increment the count, release decrement the count. When the reference count reaches 0, the release member function may free the instance as no callers are using it. And it's only part 1. Man. Yeah, this shit is difficult. Okay, in some summary. Okay, thanks, man. Yep, what is the name of executable that the Excel attachment attempts to run? ReJSMC. XA. Cool. And yay, we completed it. We did it. Phishing emails in action complete. Yo. Okay. Thank you people for watching. I won't do more today because I've got some other things to do from university. Probably there will be a stream when I create a Flappy Bird game. So if you are interested, you could probably watch it if I end up streaming it, of course. And yeah, that's it. See you tomorrow. Cheers.